Folks, I'm going to quiet the room here, and we're going to get our program underway. If you could go ahead and take your seats. Thank you all so much for being here. This is a great moment in our community. And now that I've convinced you all to sit down, I want to ask you, if you can, to rise for the presentation of the colors and the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wasn't that an uplifting way to start our meeting and our regional assembly today? You may be seated. Please join me in thanking our color guard and our singer for doing such a wonderful job of opening today's program. It's also important to note that today's color guard represents agencies from throughout our bi-state region, and we're honored that these men and women came together from around the area, especially for this event. And if you would please take a moment to note their names on the slide and in your program. We're very grateful to them. So good morning. And it's still morning. I'm Janae Hanslick, Johnson County Commissioner and Chair of the MARC Board of Directors. On behalf of the 33 elected officials who serve as members of the MARC board, I'm honored to officially welcome you to today's event. Thank you for joining us. What makes today's gathering unique is that it is a regional event. We have people here today from across the 9-county metro region, and while we represent different communities, we all come together through the Mid-America Regional Council, MARC, to serve our residents in the region. And our goal for today's program and event is that when you leave here today, you'll have a better understanding of the critical role that MARC plays in our region's safety, sustainability, quality of life, and economic progress, as well as a greater appreciation for the importance of our regional collaboration. Today, you'll hear about the important progress we've made together over the past year. You'll also hear inspiring stories from across the region and across sectors about the many ways collaboration leads to innovation. I was just having a conversation with someone about the importance of working as teams and how so much, a much better result comes from working together. We'll also present the 2024 Regional Leadership Awards. These awards honor people who demonstrate excellence and leadership in advancing the success of the Kansas City region. I am very impressed with this year's honorees, and I know you will be too. Let's take a moment to recognize the organizations that sponsored tables for this event. Please join me in thanking them and for helping to make today's assembly a success. We also want to thank one of our former award recipients, the Parade of Hearts, for loaning us the heart in the foyer. Please don't miss the opportunity to take a selfie with it or a picture of your group from your table. I'd also like to recognize my colleagues who currently serve on MARC's board of directors. Would you all please stand? Don't be shy. These men and women give their time on behalf of our entire region, even though they each also have their own responsibilities in their own jurisdictions. And finally, I want to thank everyone in this room for working together to make the Kansas City region a great place to live. The work we do together through MARC makes a difference. Now, please enjoy your lunch. Our program will continue in about 15 minutes. Thank you.
I know some of you have just been served your lunch, and please continue to enjoy your meal. I'm David Warm, I'm MARC's Executive Director, and I just want to welcome all of you here today. I really appreciate you all being here, but more importantly, I appreciate what you do for the Kansas City region every single day. The theme of our meeting today is innovation through collaboration. As any metropolitan area, we face complicated, vexing problems, and at times it can seem like our work has never been harder. Yet at the same time, this moment is shaped by an urgent need to not only do more to address our pressing challenges, but to do it differently, to create new ideas, new approaches, new systems that can address our challenges more fully and effectively. And when we come together to share interests and resources, to find common ground, to collaborate, the possibilities for innovation are endless and exciting. The work that we do together through MARC provides powerful examples of how we come together to not only bring value, but to reinvent how we invest in and serve our communities. I'm going to highlight some of the impressive strides we're making together across 7 focus areas And along the way, I'll be joined by leaders who will spotlight efforts underway to advance innovation through collaboration. Our work together as a region is more fully described in our just completed annual review. You will find that coming in your mailbox or on the MARC website. Let's begin with efficient transportation and quality places. Together, we continually update and invest in a long-range strategy for a balanced, multimodal transportation system, serving well-connected networks of centers and corridors and creating quality places. We work together on many practical fronts, deploying traffic safety solutions to reduce injuries and fatalities for all road users, saving money through cooperative maintenance contracts, coordinating traffic signals on major arterials to save time and energy, conceptualizing new service models for transit access to KCI, and developing plans for EV charging solutions. Many of you in this room work through our transportation committees to make decisions on millions of dollars of federal transportation funds for dozens of projects that serve communities across the region. Two of our Regional Leadership Award honorees, former KDOT Secretary Julie Lorenz and the Kansas City Aviation Department, have made impressive strides in building a modern transportation system that meets the needs of the future. Now we're pleased to be joined by Overland Park Council President Logan Healy to highlight a key innovation advancing quality places.
I'm excited to talk about the Planning Sustainable Places program, which has made a difference in my community of Overland Park and across the metro. The PSP program works to advance integrated local transportation and land use planning and project development to create places that are vibrant, connected, and healthy for people and the environment. This program allows communities to be innovative in their planning through collaborative community engagement and dialogue. Since its inception in 2013, the Planning Sustainable Places program has enabled us to build projects that enhance the quality of our local communities. Past projects have revitalized historic downtowns and shopping districts, integrated natural features into transportation facilities, and brought beautification and safety enhancements along key corridors. These collaborative innovations are bringing results to our residents.
Big gains were made in 2023 to advance the metropolitan area into a more resilient, equitable, and healthy community. Hundreds of stakeholders guided the development of the region's priority climate action plan. We submitted a unified regional grant application to the EPA totaling $200 million to move from climate planning to implementation. And we contributed to a successful State of Missouri Solar for All grant totaling $158 million. MARC leads continual public outreach and education to maintain clean air and water. We support efforts to make buildings more energy efficient and coordinate projects to restore natural areas and extend trails and parkways. And we work together, we lead continual public outreach and education, I'm sorry, I said that. And we also work together, and we do still, we work together to expand recycling, reduce food waste, and divert waste from landfills. And to share more about this, Raymore Mayor Chris Turnbow.
Thank you, David. So the recent effort to site a new landfill in South Kansas City put a spotlight on the urgent need for our region to come together, to expand the range of services and systems we use to manage solid waste. Last year, the MARC Solid Waste Management District led a study that shows our region has landfill capacity to last for a while, but not forever. And now is the time for us to come together to look at how we address solid waste in a more complete way. The Solid Waste Management District has now launched a regional-wide effort to develop a strategic action plan to explore new concepts and innovations for solid waste management. And I know this because I spent 20 minutes in the alley out, or the hallway out here with Diana, who bit my ear on that particular topic. And I love it. This includes looking at state-of-the-art transfer facilities, product redesign, innovative approaches to the recovery of valuable materials, and new waste-to-energy technologies that can also spur economic development. And we will explore the expansion of successful recycling, composting, and compacting programs. I encourage all of you on both sides of the state line to get involved in this effort. I know I intend to. We last revised the regional plan in 2009. With all the changes we've seen since then, plus our experiences last year, I can confidently say the time is right to come together and map out a new strategy. This is our chance to do it right, to collaborate and to innovate. We hope you will join us.
One of MARC's core capacities is communicating reliable data analytics and developing forecasts that inform local governments and business planning. We support many civic efforts, such as KC Rising, where dozens of partners work together to foster inclusive prosperity. Our research team contributed to the successful Tech Hub application led by BioNexus KC, and we've helped the region to more fully understand the workforce needs in key industry sectors. Our regional economic success is heavily influenced by the cost and availability of housing. Through the Regional Housing Partnership, MARC and LISC Kansas City are bringing together diverse partners to expand the capacity of our regional housing system, to preserve and produce more housing of more types at more price points in more places. In fact, one of our Regional Leadership Award honorees, Gloria Ortiz-Fisher, has made an enormous impact in this and other areas. Here to share more about our regional housing efforts is Kansas City, Missouri Mayor Pro Tem Raina Park-Shaw.
Thank you so much, David. The Regional Housing Partnership is working on innovative approaches to regional housing challenges and possible solutions. We are starting with the data. The Housing Data Hub has been instrumental in building a shared understanding of our challenges to ground strategies and inform decision-making. We have used this data to identify innovations, including a regional community land trust model and a cooperative housing locator tool. We are excited about the possibility of launching a regional housing fund that will leverage public, philanthropic, and investor capital to increase housing supply across the region. By working together, we open the door to more housing possibilities that are so important to our future.
One of MARC's major roles is to work with community partners to enable older adults to remain engaged, productive, and independent. We have expanded the region's capacity to support caregivers, older adults, and disabled veterans through cost-efficient access to basic services like meal delivery, medical care, in-home support, care management, and transportation. Our highly successful Ombudsman program supports quality of care for older adults who live in residential care facilities. And we work to equip area cities and counties with information and support to better plan for an aging population. We're expanding support for everyone through training community health workers, trusted members of the community who serve as a link between patients and healthcare organizations. And we coordinate with hospitals and community-based agencies to provide an integrated network of services through the Community Care Hub model that helps keep patients from returning to the hospital and drives down healthcare costs. Nutrition is a core element in many of our programs. We help families access healthy fruits and vegetables across many parts of Missouri and Kansas, while providing nutrition education and increasing access to home-delivered meals for older adults and people with disabilities in our region. I'm pleased to welcome Tina Urich, Executive Director of Clay County Senior Services and Chair of MARC's Commission on Aging.
Work has been underway for over a year to ensure we can meet the growing need for nutritious meals in our region. Do you know the old Smoke and Gun barbecue restaurant in North Kansas City? Well, we're giving it new life as a frozen meal repackaging facility that will dramatically expand our ability to provide meals and to open up possibilities for collaboration and innovation among community service agencies. The building will increase MARC's ability to support partner agencies in providing frozen home-delivered meals for homebound older adults and allow more fresh and culturally appropriate foods to be incorporated into deliveries. With support from the state of Missouri, we were able to purchase the property, which is now being remodeled and will open later this year. All of us who serve older adults and those dependent on community and support systems are excited about expanding our ability to not only do more, but to bring innovation and energy to the work we do together.
We all know that early learning and care is a prerequisite to prosperity. To strengthen our early care and education system, we've launched a regional strategic early learning plan called Connecting the Pieces KC to address needs and to ensure all children get a strong start. MARC also provides training and technical assistance to improve the quality of care and education provided in home-based and center-based early learning programs. The MARC Head Start program supports the social, economic, and emotional needs of nearly 2,400 children and families, ensuring well child visits, immunizations, and dental care through collaborative partnerships. We're pleased to welcome a key advocate of a new collaboration serving children, Dr. Kenneth Thomas, Executive Vice President of Swope Health Children's Services.
Thank you. The new Excelsior Spring Swope Kids Care Clinic is proof that working together in new ways results in real impact. Located at a MARC Head Start site, this facility was years in the making and involved the Excelsior Springs School District, Swope Health Services, MARC Head Start, Diversity Health, and various funders in the community. All these partners aligned around the goal of opening a place where families could receive affordable and easy-to-access care for their children. As we speak, kids are receiving important health and dental care at the clinic, and there is a demand for similar clinics in other communities. We all know how important health care, including preventative care, is to a child's success. The Swope Health Kids Care School-Based Health Clinic and the partnerships that support it are a model for how we can collaborate to ensure children thrive.
This region has built one of the most effective and collaborative emergency response systems in the country through planning, training, and sharing resources. The work crosses multiple disciplines, including police, fire, emergency management, EMS, public health, and hospitals. We are prepared to respond effectively in a crisis because of dedicated professionals, people like Carolyn Wells, one of our Regional Leadership Award honorees, who has made important contributions to build our shared capacity. A cornerstone of our regional response capability is a state-of-the-art 911 system with continually updated equipment, training, and operations. And our region's public health directors are working together to address the growing opioid addiction crisis. We're also making great strides with partners to implement a system of consistent 988 crisis line mobile response. We will now hear more about these important efforts from Kansas City, Missouri Council Member Jonathan Duncan.
Thank you, David. With the national launch of the 988 Lifeline nearly 2 years ago, I'm heartened that local programs are continuing to focus on the importance of effectively attending to the mental health needs throughout the region. With support from MARC, 5 mental health agencies are now working collaboratively to bring innovation to how our community responds to mental health emergencies. The new Mobile Crisis Response Initiative is standardizing 988 response practice across participating counties. What does this look like? If calling in for help from a remote crisis line is not enough, one of several mobile teams can respond to meet a person and provide in-person help to their door. If calling in for help, the mobile crisis teams are made up of trained mental health professionals who offer safe, compassionate care to address immediate needs and provide referrals to follow-up services. By collaborating, our region is providing a predictable, comprehensive, and caring response to those in need. And I couldn't be more proud to be a part of it. Thank you.
A core pillar of MARC's work is helping cities and counties work more efficiently and effectively. MARC's Government Training Institute provides high-quality training for public employees and decision makers. And we support important forums such as the Managers Roundtable and First Suburbs Coalition to enable local leaders to collaborate on shared goals. We facilitate sub-regional cooperation on common issues, such as a partnership of Eastern Jackson County cities. And we work alongside many of you in this room to help meet growing public workforce demands. Olathe Deputy City Manager Susan Sherman will share more about these important efforts to develop our public sector talent pipeline.
Thank you, David. Our organizations depend on a talented and diverse workforce, yet we face increasing challenges in recruitment and retention. I'm proud of the efforts we've undertaken with governments, educational institutions, and civic partners to strengthen this critical pipeline of public talent, including the new Public Sector Jobs Board and a new toolkit focused on strengthening connections between higher education and government employers. The Regional Data Academy is also preparing staff to effectively use data in public service. With these great examples, I am confident that we can continue to respond in new ways to the need for talented public servants.
As I wrap up my remarks, I want to make a couple of points about all of these efforts. First, what you just heard is your work. These outcomes are possible because you use MARC as a platform to achieve mutual goals, to cooperatively make decisions, to co-deliver solutions. Everything we do at MARC is driven by the people in this room and your commitment to bettering our communities. Second, your work together is critical. You are part of a region that comes together to improve the lives of the people and communities we serve. You are innovating through collaboration, and that has never been more important as we work together to make Greater Kansas City even greater. Finally, I want to highlight the members of the MARC staff who work alongside all of you to enable you to turn your energy and ideas and ambition into outcomes. We have an exceptional team of professionals at MARC who make me proud every day. There is one staff member whose work I want to underscore. Virtually everything you've heard today, all the issues and all the initiatives that MARC supports, have two words in common: Marlene Nagel. Although she is not retiring, I can repeat that, she's not retiring. Marlene has touched almost everything we've done at MARC. This year, Marlene has achieved 50 years of service to MARC and the Kansas City region. She continues to bring us energy and leadership and insight. Thank you, Marlene. Now please welcome Smithville, Missouri Mayor Damian Boley.
That was a terrific and inspirational presentation. Thank you, David. And I echo his comments. Thank you, staff. If it wasn't for them, we would probably not be here. And for sure, my name tag would not be straight if it wasn't for Mackenzie. So thank you. I'm Damian Boley, Mayor of Smithville, Missouri, and second Vice Chair of the MARC Board. I'm honored to open the awards present portion of today's program. Each year, the MARC Board of Directors recognizes individuals, organizations, and initiatives with a strong track record of outstanding contributions to the Kansas City region. This award recognizes excellence within the region, but also excellence for the region. Our goal is to recognize and thank leaders who work to advance our capacity as a regional community, leaders who have been instrumental in helping us to address our key challenges, and to apply innovative solutions and to enhance the quality and character of this region we all call home. Earlier this year, we asked the nominations from the community, and you shared your thoughts. The MARC board officers had a tough task of selecting just a few from a dozen nominations. I believe the 4 awards you will hear today reflect the best of our region. If you haven't seen it yet, I encourage you to watch the video playing in the lobby about how these awards are created each year by a local woodworker. There's a lot of symbolism in the awards themselves, with the design representing how the 9 counties come together through MARC. It's a great story, and I think you enjoy it. I watched the video a few times because the sawdust, you can just smell it as they're making all these awards. It's a beautiful thing. So now let's begin our awards presentation.
So when you think about the intersection, I actually think about being at a 4-way cross with housing, health, energy, and equity. When I'm writing a grant and it's about energy, I'm right in my sweet spot: housing, health, energy, equity. When I'm writing a grant about health and home, when I'm working with Children's Mercy on the asthma program to make home repairs, I'm right in my sweet spot because that's what we care about.
There is no more deserving leader in Kansas City than Gloria Fisher for this award. She gives it 100% every day, nonstop. She and I work together. I'll text her, and 60 seconds later, I hear back. She just is strategic and smart and focused.
Gloria's a rock star. She's tenacious, she's resilient. I used to call her Scrappy because she would figure out a way to put together a housing deal. And it might be somebody donated the windows and somebody else donated the HVAC and another person donated the, appliances. But whatever it was going to take, Gloria was going to get it done.
Well, I've known Gloria for about 20 years, and she did a fantastic job at Westside Housing. When she took over as executive director, the program, quite frankly, was in a bit of trouble. And Gloria knew instinctively, I think because of her financial background, that a not-for-profit with a good mission but no money is just a nice idea. And working with Gloria, she turned that around within a year and a half, 2 years, and that positioned that organization to continue to do the great work that they have done, not only in Westside, but throughout the metro area.
Westside Housing has been an invaluable partner. I think minor home repair is one of the spaces that Westside Housing excels. And frankly, it's a critical piece of kind of a preservation strategy to keeping people in their homes.
So when I arrived, we were doing about 20 minor home repairs a year. Today we're doing about 145. So how that works, it's about $10,000. We can go into a home and fix a roof. We can go into a home and paint it, do siding, new windows. So I have a letter here from Esther Estrada. And after the energy efficiencies, it allowed her to pay both the apartment cost and the utilities without the help of her parents. So it actually empowered a single mother of 3. I had a woman that came in here 2 years ago, right before Christmas, who didn't have heating in her home. And she hadn't had heating in her home for 9 years. We rushed the program, we talked to Kansas City, so we were able to make that, not only make that change and make that improvement, also do it in a timely manner.
Part of our Creating Sustainable Places committee was to focus, some of it was to focus attention on older urban neighborhoods, and we pulled together a coalition of organizations, neighborhood groups, housing organizations that worked in the urban core, and Gloria was a part of that. She's always at the table, and she still is there, giving her time to making not just her neighborhoods better, but the entire region better.
The most recent case in point of her leadership is the 353 program. So that is a property tax relief program for all homeowners on the West Side. In 2019, our taxes in this neighborhood went up 128%. If that stayed in place, unabated, we would lose the West Side as the Mexican heartbeat and hub of Metro Kansas City. So a group of us, volunteers, said, that's not okay. We need to do something. The missing piece was volunteers can only take it so far. We needed an organization that would be the redevelopment authority and the administrator. I called Gloria, and without hesitation, Gloria said, we'll do it. Without Gloria's leadership, that program wouldn't have happened.
So I always think about home. I talk to my maintenance guys all the time about going into someone's home. You're not entering an apartment, you're entering somebody's home. This is the place that they go, that's their safe place, you know? And I want to make sure that that safe place is a healthy place, is an energy efficient place for families that live in this community or any community that I create homes in.
Good afternoon. My name is Beto Lopez. I serve as Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Lee Summit, and I also serve on the MARC board as First Vice Chair. Thank you all for being here. I have the honor of presenting the first awardee for the regional awards, as you saw in the video, Ms. Gloria Ortiz-Fisher. I'm honored to introduce her. I believe in her as a colleague. I'm a fan of her work. I've observed her work for many years. I would consider her, as you saw from the video, a pioneer, a cutting-edge leader in that area of housing, and her expertise is just, she thinks out of the box, as you saw from the video. So it's with great honor that I sit here and present Gloria with this first award, and please join me in welcoming Gloria Ortiz-Fisher. Thank you.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mark. This is an incredible award from a powerful, innovative organization. I can't tell you how many times I thought about how well Mark's mission or purpose aligned with Westside. As you see on the video, I always say the intersection of housing, health, energy, and equity. I was real clear about what we were out to cause, and Mark was always there as a collaborator to assist with anything we had, whether it's sustainable places, the CSP, the PC, I guess, Creating Sustainable Places Board, or the Climate Action Board. Any of them, we find a home there with Mark's assistance. You know, I never set out to do something that would create this award, but I was able to find a lot of friends and a lot of people that had the commonality with me, to whether it's housing and transportation, housing and climate action, or whatever. And it made a difference for my organization. None of this would be possible without my incredible staff, an engaged board, and my family. Both my immediate family, my daughter and son are here with me today, and my extended family. And all things are possible because of God's blessings. So I thank him every day. Thank you again, everybody, for being here and for the award.
If you walk into the new KCI terminal, you see the beautiful artwork on the ceiling. You see this incredible open space. And you see not only that you are somewhere cool, significant, big, but also someplace that is really interesting.
The new terminal at KCI is the new front door to the community. And boy, what a story it tells. That we are a city that's thinking of tomorrow. We are a city that's proud of who we are, and we're going to show you as soon as you get off that plane. As a mayor for 2 years and on the council for 16, I know the challenges of delivering a major municipal project on time and on budget. I'm just so impressed that they were able to deliver such an amazing facility for us in the Kansas City metropolitan area to enjoy.
So we were very intentional from the beginning on being an all-inclusive, for all airport. And so listening to and working with Variety KC and Autism and the Interfaith Council, and just really hearing what our community needs was so impactful on having a successful project. Our commitment was so strong that the numbers speak for themselves. For this project, we had over 6,000 employees working on the construction. We had 240 businesses involved in the project, of which 130 of them or more were minority or women-owned businesses.
This is our largest project, first and foremost. 3 years ago, when we joined forces, me and my partner, we had great visions of existing on this scale, but we knew we had to start small. So we started with driveways, and now we're here, one of the largest projects that we've ever existed on. We've now added 3 new office staff. We were able to join the union. Now we're employing over 30 folks. Axiom Construction Group has grown in its capacity, has grown in its ability to serve the community. It means even into the future, I get to share with my kids or my grandkids that I was a part of this project.
The art program is such a joy to be a part of. For those of you who don't know, we spent $5.6 million on this public art fund. So you're gonna find art throughout the entire facility.
Just the idea that we wanted to make this a Kansas City feeling, a Kansas City theme, and be able to have a showcase that, what we did was intentional.
We heard over and over, they want to know that we're in Kansas City. When they come home, they want to know they're home. And what does that mean? It means 80% of our 40 locations are Kansas City-based restaurants or stores. You'll smell it with the barbecue. Smokers literally in the terminal cooking about a ton of meat, 2,000 pounds of meat every day. You know you're in Kansas City.
The latest technology that we have in this terminal is incredible for the fact that the whole backbone of this facility is miles and miles of cables and infrastructure. Another great technology aspect is we decided to go all electric in this facility, so which is exciting that the offerings that we are 100% sustainable energy for Kansas City International is quite an achievement.
It's always important to remember that KCI is a regional asset. For Kansas City, for Overland Park, for Topeka, for Nebraska, for Columbia, to Fort Scott and Pittsburgh, Kansas. It is a regional asset, and its improvement is key to all of our future success.
$1.5 billion terminal, the largest in the city's history. That's an incredible feat. On time or on budget would be wins, but to see that happen can only be attributed to the professionalism of the aviation department. Our team, the City of Kansas City, Missouri's aviation department, city employees own this project.
Delivering the KCI Airport project on time, on budget, and actually ahead of schedule is the sort of thing for which I think our aviation department should have immense pride. It doesn't happen every day. In fact, it happens very rarely in big government projects. But on the biggest project in the history of Kansas City, they knocked the ball out of the park.
All right, I am Mayor Kurt Skoog. I am not Council Member Holly Grummert, who's on your list. Unfortunately, Holly is not feeling well today, so I'm proud to stand in. I am so excited to provide this Regional Leadership Award to the Kansas City Aviation Department. And that applause we just gave is not enough. Will you please stand up with me to celebrate this amazing facility and give them a big round of applause. Come on up. Yeah, come on. Thank you. I think we all, hopefully most of us have been through the terminal now, and the feedback I get from visitors and residents is amazing. From my community to all corners of the metro, we are so proud of this new terminal and how it represents our region. I am in awe of this team behind me that made this impressive project a reality. Their performance is why we have this amazing resource. Please join me in congratulating the Kansas City Aviation Department.
Thank you, guys. Friends, have you been to the new terminal? If you haven't, raise your hand. Okay, start shaming. We have a great asset, and it is a community asset, and it's a regional asset. And I'm so proud and honored of the team I'm with. I could have filled the stage. We have 475 employees, but we have some of the best represented here who really put their blood, sweat, and tears and love into this for this community and for our team. And it's been a labor of love. And so I want to really thank a couple people. First, to my left, Jade Liska, Deputy Director of Planning and Engineering. He still is the project manager. We're almost closed out, but we're so close in bringing this facility that just is world class. And so thank your family, thank your Heartburn Medicine for everything you've done. And Pat Klein, Director of the Aviation Department, who retired a year ago, almost the day. Thank you for your leadership, your passion, your commitment to this project. We have a great team. We have an excellent department, but we have an excellent city that we work for. So I really want to I could fill the stage with all of the departments who helped us, the city manager's office, our elected officials who were by our side, challenging us to be the best. And to everybody in this room who uses it, who loves it. Kansas City is growing. We're looking at some of our best numbers ever, and we're so excited to continue to be better for you each day and give you the best airport we can. Thank you.
I was a brand new nurse in the emergency department in 1981 when the Hyatt Regency Skywalks event occurred. And talking about that incident, we all said, there's a better way to do this. And to do this, we need to do this regionally. Emergency preparedness is just what it says. We make sure that our hospital is ready for any disaster or emergency that should happen. It's important to me because my family lives here. And I want to make sure that our region is equipped and ready to handle a disaster that happens, because it could be my family that's involved. And I want us to be the best prepared that we can be.
Emergencies do not impact just one organization and one institution. It impacts several, and we're all interconnected. Natural events that could happen. There could be a tornado or a severe weather condition that could happen here. Or it could be just a COVID emergency like what we had. But somebody has to prepare the organization to be able to handle that in advance of that happening. So it would take drills, it would take development of protocols, it would take development of procedures, and educating even general public. At the end of the day, keeping them all safe. That's the goal. That's what she does.
Kansas City is all about collaboration and partnership, and we do that so successfully. We don't see Missouri, Kansas, we see one Kansas City. Carolyn is of that mindset and brings that to all of the work that she's done in the region for so many years.
Well, I have probably been to about every committee in emergency services, and I will tell you this region does it better than just about any region I've seen in the United States. Now, especially as a healthcare coalition, we are fully immersed in regional response, and that is awesome. So COVID-19. when it was first coming out, we were saying as a region, as a healthcare coalition, we need to be ready for this. We had put into place, phone calls to make sure everybody was up on what was happening. We had the public health departments, the CMOs, and the hospitals, all of us together. Everyone said, this is important. This was how we were able to make it through to the other side.
Carolyn was at the forefront of bringing innovation and technology into supporting emergency management and healthcare preparedness throughout the region. Carolyn Wells helped start KC HEART, which is Kansas City Hospital Emergency Amateur Radio Team. And that was an effort that came about following the hurricanes, Katrina, Rita, all of that in 2005. And hospitals lost their communications. So amateur radio was identified as, when all else fails, amateur radio is the last resort. So that was an unprecedented move for over 30 hospitals in the Kansas City region. No one had accomplished anything like that nationally.
This is N0CJ calling KC4WCG. Do you copy?
N0CJ, this is KC4WCG. It's a really bad day if you're relying on amateur radio equipment. Quite honestly, that's true. It requires specialty training. It requires a whole lot of things that are sometimes hard to deliver. Carolyn came to me and said, we'd really like to do this in our hospitals. And I said, well, let's do it. Let's simple, basic voice communications, data communications. We made sure we had trained operators ready to go, and we've been doing that ever since. Thank you, ma'am. This is KC4WCG, and we are out.
So the Healthcare Coalition has also been invited into the Kansas City Emergency Operations Center for large-scale events. We participated in the Super Bowl parade in 2022. We participated in the Super Bowl parade in 2023, 2024. During the 2024 event, everyone knows the event was almost over and was such a happy, joyful experience for everyone in Kansas City when the shooting happened. Carolyn, myself, and many others helped coordinate the healthcare response and made sure that that response was as seamless as possible.
We were able to call the hospitals that were closest and said, be prepared. Make sure we had a bed poll go out, and we were able to coordinate with EMS where those patients were going. That is a perfect example of how planning directly leads to a good response. It's tragic that it happened, but the response that we did saved lives. All of that regional work, all of that planning, all of the relationships that we have built over the years just came to fruition on that day. All of that planning was worth it.
Hello, I'm Dr. Bridget McCandless, council member from the City of Independence and MARC board secretary. If it wasn't crystal clear already from the video, Carolyn Wells is at the heart of our region's efforts to stay prepared and safe. And as a medical professional, I am very aware of how important it is to help our medical service agencies support one another in times of crisis. Carolyn has served on pretty much every MARC health-related committee that exists, including chairing the hospital committee for nearly 20 years. We can't thank her enough for her sustained impact. Please join me in congratulating Carolyn Wells.
Thank you, Dr. McCandless. I'm very humbled to be recognized for something that I love and feel very passionate about. I feel privileged to be part of the Kansas City region. We're a shining example of what collaboration and cooperation between disciplines can bring about wonderful outcomes. and what a great goal it is to have. To all of our first responders, emergency management, healthcare colleagues that I have worked with throughout the years, thank you very much. Thanks to everyone who did the video, all of my friends, thank you. And thank you to all of my family and friends, co-workers that are here today to support me. This is not something I can do by myself, and this is something that all of you have had a part in. So, thank you very much.
Julie Lorenz exemplifies a true servant leader. Her work is committed to changing communities.
Julie and her approach, she's one that brings people together, that puts the problem in the center of the table and then asks people to join together to find the solution.
When I think of Julie Lorenz, I think of leadership. In fact, I've often thought that was her middle name. She exemplifies what a true leader is. She's inspirational, she's collaborative, and she leads by engagement. Julie Lorenz revamped our entire approach to infrastructure and development. She even threw in broadband and allowed us to begin to develop our broadband capabilities all across the state, intertwined with our highway programs. But then we had something called the pandemic. I needed somebody who was an organizational whiz and could go in and really set up what we ended up calling our recovery office and administer the number of programs that came through that office. And she did that on a dime.
So we put together the $10 billion 10-year transportation program, Eisenhower Legacy Transportation Program, which we affectionately call IKE. And so we really turned some conventional political wisdom upside down. So it's a much more flexible program, and we can address needs as they emerge.
I believe that Julie's leadership benefits the county and the region in so many ways. She has relationships locally, but also regionally and frankly nationally in this topic. And now we're so incredibly grateful that she's continuing to be of service in her role with the KCATA, which is such an important organization. And there's really great things coming. When you talk about economic development like Panasonic, when you talk about cultural amenities that are coming to our region. The World Cup being probably the biggest one. We're gonna be on a scale unlike we've ever been on here in the metropolitan region.
Julie's an amazing leader. She's a transportation expert, but what Julie really brings to the table is the understanding of the public-private partnership, the realm where private needs to engage with the public in a way to advance transportation forward. She's been so helpful to the Chamber relative to our transportation initiatives, trying to make sure that the business voice advocating for transportation is in there, but is also substantive.
We were asked by the governor to ensure that the dollars that were coming to support our communities from the federal government around COVID reached the necessary people, structures, infrastructure that was needed to ensure that we kept as many Kansans as safe as possible. And to know that you have a partner in trying to do this work to keep people's lives safe, a partner that is willing to do whatever was necessary to deliver those dollars in an effective way, I couldn't have asked for a better partner in the work.
Receiving the George Bartlett Award, because it's a recognition from both private industry, road builders, as well as from AASHTO, which is the state DOTs. It's a national award that really was so validating to the process that we put in place So for the first time, since Eisenhower days, the state DOTs came together and said, we will have a vision for transportation, which puts people at the center of that vision. No longer is the focus exclusively on roads and bridges, but it's about what they do for people.
You can't look for more than a mile around the Kansas City region without seeing something that has Julie Lorenz's fingerprints all over it. You know, whether you're looking at Urban Outfitters, you're looking at Kubota, looking at the Panasonic project, the US 69 express lanes. Those are all a result of the leadership that Julie Lorenz provided.
The world doesn't stop at jurisdictional boundaries. Infrastructure doesn't stop at jurisdictional boundaries. People, citizens don't need to know if they're on a city street or county road or interstate. They just need to go where they need to go, and we need to provide that seamlessly. So our state motto is ad astra per aspera, like to the stars through difficulty. And I'm not trying to rewrite our motto, but I am trying to talk about how to get to the stars. So I say ad astra sumul, to the stars together.
Good afternoon. I'm Rob Roberts, Miami County Commissioner and former MARC Board Chairman. I'm honored today to welcome Julie Lorenz. Julie and her team were especially helpful in our county with some priority issues that Miami County has had. So I know that her work in my community and across this region has had a profound impact. Julie is all about bringing people together. And I like to say, isn't it the right person for such a time as this? That we as members of the Kansas City region come together and share successes. And there isn't anything much more important to that we can put a hand out, welcome each other, and come together and find solutions for our regional problems, because together we have stronger ideas than we do separated. So please join me in not only welcoming Julie, but congratulating her on this incredible award.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. And so I brought my own award to hand down. So remember when we did the announcement, Commissioner gave me the Kansas 68 blue dot representing the local consult process that we put in place at KDOT. This isn't at my house, it's actually in Secretary Reed's office, which was my office, and I'm sending it back to Topeka where it belongs, because it isn't about any one person. It's about the culture that we built at KDOT, and which Calvin continues to this day, about inclusion and collaboration. So this is going to go back to Calvin. I want to say I think this award is a celebration of collaboration and regionalism, and I'm accepting it today on behalf of all the teams that I've been a part of and that I've led for years and years. And I want to point out like 3 particular things. First, say thank you to the KDOT team and to the Burns and Mac team and to all the folks that have understood that you have to evolve programs by listening to people and taking their input seriously. Second of all, I say thank you to the communities that advocate fiercely in their self-interest, because they should. And especially thank you then when they listen to data and to trends and are willing to cooperate and compromise regionally and for our state's benefit. We have seen that demonstrated across T-Works and across Ike. And then finally, to everyone who's here, when you choose to be optimistic, when you choose to look for yes, thank you, because it is ad astra sumul, to the stars together. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause for our 2024 Regional Leadership Award recipients. We are so fortunate to have them in our community. And I don't know about you, but I am leaving here very inspired, very hopeful, and very committed to the continuing collaboration in our region. So we're actually going to get out of here a little early. Can't complain about that. And on behalf of the MARC board, thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again next year. And in the meantime, have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
I know one thing's for sure, you've got to start where you are, and every step of the way